Hi there. Welcome. My name is Adrienne. Thank you so much for joining me for this short practice. This is going to just be a very simple standing postures that we're going to just do a little bit of work to just bring some energy back into the body. Maybe get yourself ready for a little bit of a work day ahead, or maybe midday in your work day, you might want to just take a break and utilize this video just so that you can let go of any tension that you have in the body and maybe re-energize. Or this can even be maybe a little treat for work well done at the end of the day. So again, just real simple, just coming up to a standing position. You can even do this beside your desk if need be, and we'll go ahead and get started. So let's first start by bringing the hands together at heart center. Palms are pressing together and the elbows are nice and wide. We're going to soften the knees, find some nice footing here, close the eyes down, and just spend a few moments just to recenter ourselves, spending this time to just welcome ourselves to the short practice and letting go of anything that might be nagging at us. And take a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Part the lips, exhale, release and let it go. Again, taking a nice deep inhale in. And an exhale, let it all go. One more time, inhaling deep. And exhale, sigh, release, and let it all go. Nice, now release the hands down. We're just going to start to get into side body and into the neck, a place that we hold a lot of tension in. So first, take the fingertips up, reach nice and tall, grow tall here through the spine, root the feet down, reach the fingertips up. And then we're just going to take the hands down, back towards the hips. Do that again, inhale, reaching up tall, reach and grow tall through the spine. Now I'm going to take that right hand and I'm going to bring it to the outside of that right thigh. I'm going to take that left hand up and over, really pressing down through that left foot, finding some nice space into side body here, reaching the fingertips up and over. And then this upper hand, I'm just going to take it to the outside of that ear and I'm going to bring the ear over towards the opposite side. So the hand that is on the head is not pulling or dragging the head down. That elbow is just kind of there as dead weight, as a little extra guidance. And then that right hand, you can keep it alongside the body, or if you would like, you can start to find some exploration with that hand. It might feel good to kind of swing the hand slightly forward and back, or maybe raising and lowering it. So working into the side of the neck, you can always tilt that chin in or maybe bring it up towards the ceiling. Just find ways that you can personalize these movements and just notice what's going on in that shoulder area, in the neck. Maybe feeling a little bit into the tops of the traps. Then we're going to return that hand to the outside of the leg if it is floating. The hand that's alongside the head is just going to come over to that opposite ear and then just use that hand to gently prop the head back up. Release both arms down, roll the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze at top, and then release and let it come down. Inhale, reach both fingertips back up towards the ceiling, growing nice and tall here. Now we're going to take that opposite hand to the outside of the leg. So left hand is on the outside of the left thigh. And we're going to reach that right hand up and over, pressing through that right foot so we can find even more space here. And then I'm going to take that hand to the outside of that ear, gently bringing ear over to the right shoulder. And then once again, I'm just going to go on a little play date with that opposite hand. Maybe finding a little swing or a rise and fall of the hand. Just noting that the side might feel better or worse than the other side. I don't want to say worse as much as you might just have different sensations here that you need to work through. So if there is different types of stiffness from one side to the other, just note that without passing judgment. And just move in mindful ways to release any of that tension. If you have that hand floating, go ahead and bring it back alongside the thigh. The hand that's alongside the ear is just going to come over to that opposite ear, and we're just going to press the head back up to center. Take the shoulders up towards the ears. I'm going to take those elbows out and really involve those elbows as I take those elbows back and behind a few times. Just making these big, deep rolls of the shoulders with the elbows leading. Perfect. And then go ahead and let those hands come down heavy, just stopping for a moment, pausing and noticing how I'm feeling into that body part that we were just working in. Now we're going to get into side body a little bit more and start to work into lower half of the body. We're going to take an inhale, reaching the fingertips up tall. I'm going to take a hold of that right wrist, and I'm going to bring the right wrist over to the left side of the room. Make sure that I'm not coming forward, that I'm opening up through that armpit chest. I'm using the hands as a little leverage just to gently tug over to that opposite side. Now I'm going to take that right foot and I'm going to cross it behind and over to the other side towards that left side, plant the foot down. Now really getting a little bit deeper into that side body and starting to feel this throughout the leg. Take a couple breaths here. Keeping the legs as they are, go ahead and bring the hands back up tall. Release the clasp of the wrist and bring the hands to that hip line. If you feel off balance, you can always walk that knife edge of feet closer in towards each other. We still have that ankle crossed, and I'm going to keep those hips towards the front. Now I'm going to hinge at the waistline and come into a half forward fold here. Making sure not to lock out that back knee or hyperextend it. This is a great place to be to feel the sensation in the legs. Or if you'd like a little bit more sensation, you can come all the way down into a fold here for a moment. Hands can hold on to the legs or the fingertips can come down to the earth. Make sure that we're taking nice long deep breaths. We're not holding the breath. And then if you are in that fold, go ahead and bring the hands back to the hips and very, very slowly unwind to come back up to standing. Uncross the ankle, walk the feet a little bit wider here, and then we're just going to find some circles with the hips. Taking those hips nice and sassy out to the side, that booty behind. Starting to work into that space that might feel a little tight and stiff after sitting at the desk for a while. Nice, and then come all the way back up to that standing position. We're going to walk the feet so they're back to hip width apart. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take a hold of that left wrist, and then we're going to bring that left wrist over to the right side. Just take a few moments to really press down through the knife edge of that left foot. Finding nice, good stretch and space through side body. And now we're going to cross that left ankle behind the right ankle and come into this a little bit deeper. So I'm keeping both feet solidly on the ground. Breathing deep. And then without uncrossing the legs, I'm going to bring the hands back up towards the ceiling. I'm going to release the clasp of that wrist, take the hands to the hips. If you're feeling off balance, walk the feet a little bit closer inward. And then we're just going to hinge at the waist and come forward into this half forward lift for just a moment. You can always tuck that chin in slightly, really extending the crown of the head forward and finding a little bit more space in the spine. This is a great place to stay, or you can take the hands all the way down towards the earth or towards the legs into a fold. Couple long deep breaths wherever you're at. If you are in that fold, go ahead and bring the hands to the hips and slow unwind to come all the way back up to standing. Uncross the leg, take that leg a little further out than hip width apart, and then we'll find those big hip circles once again, bending the knees as we come around, making this a nice big juicy circle here a few times. Nice, and then go ahead and come all the way back up to standing. Walk the legs back together so they're hip width apart. Just one more thing I like to do here. This is great for the wrists and it's great to kind of raise energies. We're just gonna start to shake through the wrists. So just bring a little shake into those wrists. It's actually a pretty big shake here. And then you can start to bring those hands up above the head, finding them a little bit more of a shake. And then I'm going to encourage you just to let yourself go here. Close the eyes down, and you can start to bring that shake through the entirety of the body. So you can start to shake the legs a little bit, bending through the knees, keep shaking those wrists. Imagine as if we were like a snow globe, where we're just taking those energies in the body and we're redistributing them by shaking. Might feel kind of silly, but that's okay. Embrace that silliness. We don't need to take ourselves so seriously. So good for the wrists and the hands. So good to get that energy moving differently through the body. This is a great replacement for that extra cup of tea or cup of coffee in the afternoon or that candy bar. Keep shaking. Just a few more moments, being a little bit silly. Shake. And then we're going to come into stillness. Let the hands float down. Let the shoulders be heavy. Keep the eyes shut down. And just notice the redistribution of the energies in the body. We're going to bring the palms back together at heart center, right where we began. And then we're gifting ourselves one more moment just to notice the changes. Just appreciating that short practice and what it has done for our body. Take a nice deep inhale in. And an exhale, release and let it all go. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope to see you again soon, and namaste.